Well, how do that, chums? I doff my cap. Right, so this is Jett to the Far Shore. Now we're on Chapter 2, Investigate. It says here allow 1.5 hours. Now I will be cutting this down and giving you all the best bits and synopsis and guide type information that you're going to need to complete this mission. So as soon as you start this mission, strap yourself in for a frickin' shed load of gibberish to be chatted at you from every frickin' angle going. But luckily I've got a speed up mode. This is times 8 the speed of the footage needed to get through this frickin' saga of Simish. So yeah, you're bombarded with a load of frickin' stuff, and it's basically just saying, yeah, you need to go out and you need to investigate this, which is kind of the whole frickin' mission title. You know you're going out to investigate something. But yeah, you've got to listen to these little chappies sort of just talk Simish for a while. And you can see that he's got the hemline or the hymnwave. Hymnwave, not the hemline, sewing, isn't it? But it's got the hymnwave on the frickin' window there. And that features in your dreams. It almost looks like a double helix for DNA. It is nice that you get shown the actual discoveries page. So if you haven't actually found that, although I pointed out in the last episode where you can find that early, it is all there. So you can read up on the stuff that you found on the planet and how it all stitches together, which is kind of nice, and how it's all hemmed together. See what I did there? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, right. So next stuff, you say grace and all that sort of stuff. It starts feeling a bit more religious. And the fact that you're a mystic in the team starts to play its role out a little bit more in this now, with your visions and things like that and how you feel about stuff. May's dreams, you also see the hemwave pattern appear in hem. There we go. I'm going to go to sleep now and you're going to see it. There we go. There's the hemwave. Lovely. Now, I did leave it alone. I just left my controller for about, 15 minutes to see if the dream started. No, doesn't. It just stays like that, and there's a little image that fades in the background a bit, but just wake yourself up. It's a complete waste of time. And yes, then you get to speak some more Simish. You follow this lady. Guess what she shows you? She shows you the freaking window. And you already know this. You already know. You saw the window earlier. You've seen it in your dream. Yeah, and then you see it again, and then you see all these little flashy bits. Takes freaking ages just to get out of your blinking headquarters and get in your ship. And the cheek of it, the little old guy, as you're walking past him, he's like, yeah, you need to get out there and start investigating. I know! I've been trying for the last half hour. Yes, there's no sort of super skip button or something. If there is, there's probably circle or something, isn't it? Yeah, but it's a freaking chore and a half. And you don't really learn anything from the whole dialogue that goes on there. You don't really pick up anything other than you're going to go and investigate the hemwave, which you've known right from the off. Anyhow, okay, right, so we're going to take off and we're going to head on over towards this giant volcano thing where this hemwave is coming from. And when you actually get to the actual point here, you just got to follow. You just got to follow. And they make it clear as crystal what you need to scan. Just scan those things that are on the side there. It doesn't do too much, but you need to scan those, and then it pushes on with the mission briefing. And what I do like is each of the different scouts gets given a different task. They're going off and doing their task, and you get given your task. Your task is to go up the actual slope, and at this point you've got to sort of look for your resonance scanner. So put on your scan mode, so that's what left on the D-pad over here on the old PlayStation, and yes, you should see this sort of like sine wave appearing on your HUD that goes all rainbowy colours when you go in the right direction. If you're not going the right direction, no rainbowy colours. So just follow the rainbowy colours, and in the end you should find the marker. But here we go. I'm now heading. I've been given my mission here. I've been talking a little bit faster than the game, and the footage is going at the moment. But yeah, scanned all those, and now you head on up, and here we go. This is where we should see that sort of like little rainbowy markery thing appearing in a second. So I'm jumping over this chasm because that's where it looks like it's going, but as soon as I pass the chasm, you see it's gone dark again. So I spin it round. There you go. You've got a little flash of rainbow there. So it looks like I've got to actually go down into the actual chasm, which just momentarily ago, my little co-pilot dude said, you need to jump the chasms. Okay, alright, so I jumped the chasm, didn't need to jump the chasm. Right, so now I need to go down in the chasm, because he told me to jump it, I'm looking around going, what? What the fudge? I don't want to go down there, I might not be able to get back up again. But yeah, you're safe to go down there. You're safe to go down there, and that's how you actually, press forward with the mission. Now there's these little red pillars here, well, the black pillars with red balls on the top. Don't pulse right next to them. Don't do your pop thing right next to them, even though he says, it responds to a freaking pop. They blow up. They blow up and they do you freaking damage. So yes, luckily I thought, well, I won't get in the middle of 3. I'll just do it on 1. So I did it on 1. Lucky I did, because it probably would have completely annihilated my shields and I probably would have died. So what you need to do is engage your scramjets, and while you're going fast, as you're passing them, hit the X, the pop button to pop them. And then you should bounce. It should only do a little bit of damage to your shields and you can carry on going. And it sort of fills up your boost bar again in a roundabout way. You can carry on going super duper fast, which is quite cool. Which you're going to need that technique to get away from baddies later and going back the opposite way when we come out of here. But once you're in sort of the heart of this sort of volcanic sort of, giant inferno that it is, it's not really an inferno, but you've got lava trickling down from the ceilings in a waterfall-esque type fashion. So yeah, now there's like this blue crystal rock thing in the centermost area that you've got to sort of traverse by, but you can't. I've tried pulsing at it, I tried bouncing against it, I tried going super fast and spinning at it, I tried everything I could freaking think of, and I even put little resin things down by it. But you see the little resin things that I've put down by it, it says there that they get activated via ions. And I was like, ions, you say? So I went around the whole freaking area and I found that there's an ion pool at the opposite side of this little area of the map, which felt a little bit too far away for it to trigger anything. I thought it just gave me back my shields. Anyway, if you get one of these little resin little balls over here that look like little honey glands, take it over to that sort of resin pool or the ion pool or whatever you want to call it, all the way over here at the opposite side of where that gate area is that we need to traverse by. And all you need to do is you don't need to throw it in the pond, which I was doing for a while, and then picking it up and losing loads of time. Just keep it grappled and go through the pond, and then just use your R2 at regular intervals, tonk, 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 because you can't use your scramjets. So I'm just using a little mini boost to try and get myself over. You see there's that little mini version of that big crystally substance that's blocking the way. You need to throw your sort of charged up resin honey clump at it, and every millisecond counts. That probably took me about 4 attempts to do that. Freaking annoying, really is frustrating as hell, especially because it feels like the controls are fighting against you. That little R2 pulse thing, got to get that lovely and jubbly. You got to have everything lovely and jubbly, else you're fudged to fudging fudgy fuck. Yes, yeah, whoops, there was a CK one there, wasn't there? Well, it deserves it, because this was frustrating as frickin' hell. Okay, so if we go on over here, I'm going to go over and I'm going to be charging this up and throwing it at that big wall that's blocking the way. I'd done the first smash, first time. The second one took me probably another 8 attempts, and oh my god, it was infuriating. There's these little frickin' black buttery fly things or waspy things that are attracted to this blinking lump of molten blinking honey, and they get in your way. And yeah, so there we go. The first smash, perfectly fine. No little honey critters on this one, but the second one, you get honey critters, and they're coming after you, and yeah, they're trying to throw the frickin' thing at that wall to smash this next area. When you got these little flutterbugs, pain in the frickin' butt, I tell you. So I just skipped out all that pain in the butt area, and I'm just going for it. You'd see the little frickin' gits coming up behind me. Get away! Yeah, so this time I thought, well, as soon as my ship goes up the ramp and the arc goes up, I'm throwing it. I'm frickin' throwing it. And so I threw it from a distance. There's all the little fluttery gits. Yeah, she didn't get me this time. No, Captain Steve shoots and scores. All that Rocket League stuff paid off. Frickin' awesome. So here we go. Now I'm going to head on in, and again you get a massive great big cutscene sequence once you're actually in here, and it takes a while for all those little crystally bits to sort of disappear and dissipate, but once you're in, which is cool, which is lovely. Now the actual cutscene in here, it's all been building to this, and once you're in there, all the comms with your actual teammates are down. You can't understand a word they say, even though they speak gibberish anyway. But you can see here, you just got a load of backslashes, forward slashes and stars and stuff to signify that the radios are sort of like all glitched out. I don't know whether they can hear each other or what, but I can't hear them, and it just feels a little bit off. It just feels about as buggy as the controls half the time. And it does feel like I'm battling against this game to actually progress the story, to the point that it's sheer freaking frustration. And that's going to come across in my full-on review of this game. I'm at the point now where I don't want to play it anymore. I don't actually like this game because of the gameplay mechanics, but I actually like the story. Or I'm trying to like the story, because I have no freaking idea at this point what's going on, because again all the comms are down. I don't know how they feel about this. I don't know whether we should be pressing on. I don't know anything, because you can't understand a word that they're freaking saying. So it would be nice once we hit episode 3, perhaps, maybe at the start of that we might go and find out a little bit what this cave is all about, or what the actual scans come back with. But currently I have not a Scooby. And I've sped this footage up by 8 times as well. So you can get the idea of just how long I was in this freaking cave, going through dialogues of just complete gibberish that doesn't really make much sense. Just talking about brine. You know, if you want a can of tuna, go get a can of tuna. It's weird. There's a lot of strange stuff going on, and then you get this flashback of your old town and stuff, and there's like the old lady that you saw from freaking eons ago talking about whispers and stuff. Again, makes no freaking sense, and I'm hoping it all makes sense at some stage, because yeah, it's a little bit odd. Are these two planets connected? Is there some sort of other weird shenanigans going on? Is it like a mirror world? I don't know. It's exactly 1,000 light years away or whatever. Who knows? But here we are. Now we've got to escape. We've got to escape now. So I guess we've learned something we shouldn't have learned, or done something, or stirred up something that we shouldn't have stirred up, or done, or whatever. There's bad vibes, bad vibes. And those bad vibes were happening before we even went in there. The rest of the team were like, ooh, bad vibes. And that's what some of the lingo was at the start of this mission. So here we go. Now to get away, this is what I was mentioning before. You've got to pulse on those little red dots to keep this like big moth critter away from you. Another little flappy dude. Yeah, funny how all the little gits in this planet can fly as well, isn't it? Right, so here we go. We've got to just hit on these to keep our momentum up, and to keep our boost bar happy and everything sound. And yes, just be careful with your throttle, although this thing is making freaking ground on you all the time. Ignore the white arrow that's telling you to go back on yourself. Don't do that. Just keep following those two markers, your two shipmates, the blue marker and the yellowy greeny marker. Follow those while hitting those things. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Ignore the white arrow. Keep going. Freaking just keep plowing ahead. And yeah, hopefully you're going to be making it past the security gate, if you want to call it that, those big pillars that we scanned at the start. They've now lit up like freaking Christmas trees, and they've got scanners out of them. Those little spikes sticking out of the ground there, you can hit them with your flashlight and they go down into the actual sand, or you can do what I did and just jump up in the air and go over the top of the little gits. Yes, there we go. So that's it, I just done a giant hop, you know, into the air. And yeah, we're just going to follow these out into the actual sea. And once you get out past those security scanners, something hits you or something happens, but May kind of loses consciousness or her whereabouts and just starts going off on a tangency type path, and they're like, May, answer your comms. And again, I've sped that footage up because it's a little bit tedious and a little bit unsure why it happens. But yeah, anyhow, there we go. So there she goes. She's drifting off there, and it takes ages. You've got this lovely cutscene of the planet and this weird spirally thing and a pulsey type thing, which hopefully we're going to find out what the fudge that all was. Hopefully episode 3 perhaps. Yeah, if it's episode 3 or chapter 3 or whatever chapter it is now. The thing is, we had chapter 0 and it's completely thrown me on what episode I'm on. So here we go, let's carry on. And now all you got to do, you know that little wispy dude that we saw right at the very start when we first arrived at this planet and we're negotiating the waves and the storm? It's back! Follow that little wispy dude. Hopefully we're going to find out what the little wispy dude is at some stage. But yeah, just follow that thing. And you see there's all these sparkly points. As you're going past them, just hit your pulse. Maybe do dash rolls and things like that. So to do a dash roll, just hold your stick and just, while you're in fast mode with scramjets on, just hold your stick to one side and press X. As you go past it and boom. Yeah, you're going to light those up and it's going to keep hopefully your engines cool. They're not going to overheat so much. So you can just carry on following the little wispy thing. If you do hit anything too large though, sometimes it knocks your scramjets off, which is a right pain in the frickin' butt. And also the camera likes to pull away to the right or to the left. And it does it when it feels like it, which then takes you off of the trail that you're on, so you can't really see the angle that you need to get through these rings. There you go, my scramjets went off. I hit something. I don't know what I hit. Some sort of giant hitbox on something, but it slowed me down. I had to reactivate my scramjets, and to do that, you have to hold down triangle. Turn them off, you just tap triangle. And sometimes, yeah, I don't hold it down long enough, and they don't come on. So I'll try it again, and then you're panicking. But anyway, just follow all the little sparkly bits, follow the little wisp, and hopefully it's going to take you up to this sort of, your outpost, the little lighthouse on the freaking hill. Lovely job, and that's pretty much the mission done. Apart from you now got to go through a shed load more of cutscenes and gibberish and simish and some text that really you could do without reading, to be fair, because they don't really tell you much apart from, get inside. Well, thank you for stating the obvious. That's exactly what I want to do. I haven't parked here for a freaking leisurely stroll. No, yes, I definitely want to go in there, funny enough. And the comms tower's just fallen off, so we can't make contact to the mothership. Now, at the start, when we had all that gibberish coming up, there was one important piece, and that was the fact that you're in touch with the mothership. Now you're not. So that kind of sucks a little. But yeah, we're heading in. We're heading into ground control. Hello there, Major Tom. ISO, whatever his name is AO. Yeah, we're going in. Lovely. Yeah, I mean, you don't know the pronunciation of their names because they all speak freaking Simish, apart from you hear May's name said quite a lot. Yes, here we go. Let's head on in. Brilliant. And, actually, I think you do hear like Pasha and stuff like that, but that chap out there, the one with the really weird name, I have no idea how you pronounce that. So here we go, let's head on in and get decontaminated with the watery stuff. Lovely jubbly. And head on in. So after you shower, you head on in and you get this weird sort of visiony type thing, which is actually really cool. That'd be a cool t-shirt, actually, like, wouldn't it? That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice image. Yep, and it kind of reminds me of the old ZX Spectrum with the rainbowy colours. It's got a very retro-esque feel. One of your friends there is looking a little bit stuffed, to be fair. Yeah, Jones is knackered. Yeah, it's funny how Jones is a very English name, to be fair. I know a lot of Joneses. Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, so Jones isn't doing too well. Their suitor's raptured. And then you find out that you're in a similar sort of state, which isn't great. And that's kind of how it ends off, is you losing consciousness and falling to your knees in a sort of fashion to Jones here. And then it's going to be going to the next missione in a second. So there we go, look, May. And yeah, you met you, yeah? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, thank you, Caro. Yeah, me too. There you go. I've now blacked out. And hopefully we're going to find out what has come of our investigation. What scans did we manage to gain? What knowledge have we managed to gain? And is this the planet for us? I've got a sneaky suspicion it's probably not, to be honest. But here we go. So chapter 3 is adapt. And we're going to be adapting, but it's going to take 4 freaking hours. Oh no! Until next time, people, goodbye, and goodbye again. I'll see you for that one. I'm not looking forward to it. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe. And I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers! And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.